This would be my second attempt at a sustainable base, and the second time that I have passed 300 cycles. So usually I start out the base by rushing research first, and the first research that I like to get are the mesh tiles, because I find them one of the most useful things in the game. After the mesh tile, I like to get the mechanized airlock, because they are, to me, the second most useful thing in the game. Alright. Once I have set up my research, the first thing that I actually built is this food factory over here, because aside from oxygen, the next killer in this game is lack of food. So how do I get the food growing with the right atmospheric temperature, pressure, and the right temperature is by pumping out the CO2 in the base into this area, making it into a CO2 zone. Right? It needs a CO2 is really good because it's a high pressure gas. It's very heavy gas, and it's very good at keeping temperature. Alright. After you that's my neighbor's dog. After you finish with the food production area, you are welcome to what the next thing you want to do is maybe expand on this area a bit more. Instead of just pumping out CO2, you want it to filter out contaminated oxygen that goes to the bottom of the base, so that you can make sure that this whole area is just CO2. So the next thing that I set up after the CO2 area is after the plant area, the food growing or processing area, whatever you want to call it, is the mob trap over here. Alright, let me pause the game and show you how this mob trap works. What happens is I have two closed doors, and I spawn a dupe. It's okay if they're destructive. Lenny, hi Lenny, welcome to your... Okay, I guess this is not the best time. Welcome to the base, not so luxury space station. And let me show you the mob trap going on in here. Alright, so I open the door and I send this guy down here. Hey Lenny. Lenny? Alright, and then what we do is once he's past the door, we close the door behind him. And he will close the door on himself, getting stuck, dying here and spawning the mobs here, where I have a gas pump pumping out all the contaminated oxygen that these mobs produce into the gas filtration over here. Alright, so one of the things that I think is that maybe tricky for a new player is learning out how to turn contaminated oxygen into oxygen. Well, you can use the air deodorizer, but you will run out of sand so fast. It's not worth it at all. Okay, so what you do is you send them through some cooling units. Alright, so what's going on here is that the air is going to this gas filter, which is filtering out oxygen. And then whatever is left, which is mostly contaminated oxygen, goes through the thermoregulators over here, cooling it down. And after a certain temperature, maybe around minus 170, 180 degrees, it turns into regular O2. Okay, so and it goes all the way here. And this filter here is the input. There's only one input into this what you call it, gas sanitation rune, maybe you want to call it that. And the input will only accept contaminated oxygen. So nothing goes into this room except for contaminated oxygen. The O2 in here is produced by gases overcooling once it reaches this stage. When oxygen cools to minus 180, right? 183, it becomes a liquid. And that's what this liquid pump is for it pumps the liquid out into the hottest room, immediately vaporizing the liquid into breathable oxygen. Other than that, sometimes the gas will get pumped out, the O2 will get pumped out, and that's why I have a filter here before it goes into the cooling system to filter out all the oxygen. So what happens is, see, you can see some of the oxygen getting pumped out. So this is to clean the pipes to make sure that not too many types of gases are going through the pipes, and this will free up the congestion that happens. Alright, I'm pumping all the oxygen to the top of the base, and I'm attempting to create a base without the contaminated oxygen. Alright, the filtration room is pretty important. I guess it should be as low as possible. That will help. And the next thing that I attempted to create was a steam room with these batteries over here. Unfortunately, creating steam is very slow and quite a difficult process. So, I don't know, man. From what I can tell, the reason I had this vent open, and the reason why it wasn't creating any steam was because the water was cooling faster than it was being heated. So, yeah, I haven't really fully worked out the kinks in this one yet, but hopefully soon. This is my second attempt with the regulators, which are at a higher temperature of 226 degrees versus the batteries, which are just slightly above boiling point, 126 with the boiling point at 118. There we go. So I have attempted with the regulators and the normal tiles because these things they absorb heat, I guess. And this is a steam only room. It's supposed to be, but oh well. And voila, I think there you have it. If you got any questions, maybe you can put them in the comments. And I would like to say one more thing. As you cool the gases, if you have too many regulators, there is an issue where if you overcool them, if the gases cool beyond a certain point, the game just crashes. Now, how do you stop the game from crashing every time you reload? You go to jobs and you click this button over here. Stop them from generating power. Let the base heat up a bit and start the process all over again. That's a great fix for that. I hope this has been instructive, useful, and you guys can take some of these ideas and enjoy this wonderful game. And all the best. Peace.